What's up, y'all? Larry here, back again. Had taken a little while off, about a week or so off of filming anything, mainly because I kind of hurt my back. Was squatting last Monday, not this past Monday, but the Monday before. Put 315 on my back and did 2 sets of 6 with it. Felt fine, but something just went wrong, and it seems that it feels like I pulled my groin, but the pain is wrapped around into my hip now, into my lower back. So got a chiro appointment, and we'll hopefully get that straightened out and get me back to rocking and rolling. Hopefully no physical therapy or anything like that. So just trying to work around it. Did legs on Sunday. I know, kind of stupid. But in any event, just wanted to just say, hey, I'm kind of hobbling around here, so you ain't gonna see no crazy volume or crazy weight for a little while. Not that anything I do is crazy. It's actually quite manageable. But just wanted to hop on and give you guys a little update for those that follow along. It seems that my podcast host, I have him back. Vonatine is going to be back on the podcast. So just figuring out days of when to film or record some content for the podcast with both of us. I have a couple of guests lined up, lining up more guests, and we're just going to keep bringing you some really, really good content. Very excited. The Olympia is this weekend. Something I look forward to every year, along with the Arnold Classic and other bodybuilding shows throughout the year that I look forward to. But this is a Super Bowl of bodybuilding, and it's going to be really, really good this year. You got Rami, you got Hunter, you got William Bonac, you got Chris Bumstead and Terrence Ruffin in Classic Physique. You got George the Bull. I forgot his last name. In the 212s, it's going to be a very, you got Sean Clarita, who is my pick to repeat for 212. It's just going to be a really, really good show this year. It's going to be really interesting to see how these guys look with a semi-open year. Because last year, a lot of gym closures, a lot of stress with COVID and all that. A lot of people didn't know if the Olympia was going to be pulled off, but it was pulled off without a hitch. And that's a good thing. So in any event, that's going to be something great to look at. I'm not sure if there's a live stream. Let me actually take a look and see if there is a live stream. Olympia live stream. Let's see what we got here. Olympia TV. So it looks like there is a stream for it. The premium package is $59.99. So that's gonna be fun. But in any event, you get unlimited replays after the event has ended. So if you want to get ready for it and just watch last year's, you can still get it if you got the premium last year, which I got. So this year I'll be getting the premium, and I just can't wait. So we'll see how it goes. But today we're going to be training chest, shoulders, maybe a little triceps, maybe not. Haven't decided yet. But really I'm not looking to really push for a PR or anything like that because I'm hurt. Really, I'm just at maintenance, just maybe a little bit above for a little bit until I get this stuff in my back straightened out. I got some pretty big competitive aspirations next year. That's going to take every ounce of, will, and every little bit of extra cash I can make is going to go to that. And I also have a home to maintain, and build upon, so we're going to keep going with that. But in any event, I'm just really excited to get back to some hard training, but for right now, we got to kind of let the chili simmer and keep it going. But with chest and shoulders, pretty straightforward, right? So you're really just emphasizing pressing in a couple of lateral movements if we're talking shoulders too. So we're not going to get super in depth, we're not going to get super intense, but we're going to work hard still, and we're just going to choose the movements that wreck you without destroying you, right? Because that's the name of the game. You want longevity in bodybuilding. So you want to pick the movements that's going to be good to your body. Well, none of it's really good to your body, but you want to, in context, you want to pick movements that are good to your body and treat your body well, that you can repeat over and over and over and over and over. So for me right now, that's the hammer strength incline. That's any type of dumbbell press. I like incline barbell pressing, but I've kind of gotten away from that. Until I get this thing in my shoulder straightened out. Hopefully the chiro will address that as well. And we're just going to work really, really hard on the tools that we have inside of the gym, which is Iron Heaven today. And we're going to push the maximum. So in any event, it's Olympia week. Let's make it some good workouts. Let's smash some good food, and we'll go from there. All right, I'm excited. Let's get started.
Okay guys, I'm training a little bit these days as I am kind of recovering from the groin pull. So I just want to emphasize some things that you probably should keep in mind while you're training injury, right? The number one thing is to not aggravate it, right? Because look, we're all meatheads. We know we're going to train if we can work around the injury, right? So if we're going to train, we need to not aggravate the injury that's going on. So we need to pick movements that's going to, like I said in the intro, wreck us but not destroy us. So we want to pick some good movements, nothing super high impact to start the workout out, like you see me doing with flies, but instead stuff to just basically ease you into the session. Each one a little bit more difficult in nature. So ideally, you want to start off with some type of isolation exercise, pre-exhaust here. So by the time you get to your compound lifts, you are warmed up and don't need to use as much weight. So for my case, I have a very, very tight hip flexor, and then on top of that, pain is kind of wrapping around into my lower back hip area. So any type of weight that I'm going to pick up or drag across the floor is going to affect that area. And I still have a groin strain that's healing up. So that's going to pull when I pull any type of weight up off the floor. So we're not going to do anything where I aggravate that, right? So you're probably thinking to yourself, well, this is a chest and shoulders video that you got going on, Larry. Yes, that is true, but also at the same time, the way that you sit down in the seat, the way that you raise up the weights to put them on a plate-loaded machine or a dumbbell is going to affect you. It's going to affect you very much. So you want to make sure that you're not aggravating that injury. So the first thing we need to do is we need to pre-exhaust that muscle and make sure that we put it through a full range of motion, that we contract and squeeze, because we are injured and you don't have 100% power to put into all of the lifts. So that's something to keep in mind when you're training around an injury or anything like that. Thankfully, this was a lower body injury, and it only really affects my leg workouts, and to a degree, my back workouts. But I'm playing it safe here. I'm basically watching how I'm sitting in the seat here. My pelvis is forward a little bit to take a little bit of pressure off my lower back so I can drive my upper back into the pad. And that's about as heavy as I went. Now you've seen me do 4 plates, 3 plates and a quarter on here. After a good pre-exhaust like that with 3 working sets, there was no need to go that heavy. There'll be no need to go that heavy if you do your pre-exhaust correctly. Okay? Now, addressing the affected area with rest. Yes, rest is a key component, right? You don't want to be out of the gym for a long time, so taking extra days away from the gym works. Now, in the case of a groin pull, to be honest with you, that's just something you're going to have to work around and hobble about for a little bit. Again, it is what it is, and it's just something that you have to work with. Now, if we're talking actual torn muscle, then the conversation changes a bit to what can we train and when can we train to get this body part back up to speed, right? But when you have any type of work that needs surgery, that's when you have to start questioning yourself and start doing things like cost benefit analysis, you know, things of that nature. So make sure that you take the proper channels you need to take to address and evaluate the injury that you have. So again, groin pull, I'm not trying to press a lot of heavy weight here. Just trying to work it through a full range of motion and get used to it. I'm definitely favoring one side, so that is what it is. But still working, still making sure that I'm putting together good routines, right? So for delts, I only did 2 exercises, and this is one of them. I really didn't worry about tempo or anything like that. But again, things that are not going to affect the injury. Pick movements that will wreck you. And with the way that the cam is set up, this definitely pumped my shoulders full of blood. So, quick note on shoulder training. You want to pick, there's 2 schools of thought. One, that you have to absolutely kill yourself for shoulder gains. And then the other, you just pick your sets and reps and then go from there. I am of the thought process that you really have to make sure you know what your capabilities are, you know what your genetics are, and more often than not, you have to love training, right? So some people can do 2 or 3 pressing movements in a workout and then a lateral and grow great deltoids. I've tried that. I can't get them to grow for shit. So I stick with what I know works for the most part. That's an isolation movement, a couple of compound movements, and call it a day. So usually my workouts start out with some type of lateral, then it'll go into a press, then it may go into another press, then it may go into another lateral. But I play around with that sequencing a bit. So another thing to keep in mind when you're hurt is exercise sequencing. Again, we don't want big movements at the beginning of the workout. We don't. We want to make sure that, because the warm-up is localized and systemic, right? So you have to make sure that you're warming up the muscle itself, and then you want to make sure that your overall system is warmed up, because what will happen is that the injury will nag around if you're not warmed up all the way, not just in that muscle group, at least as far as my experience goes. So just some things to keep aware of, to keep in mind when you're training around an injury. Also, you want to use different intensity techniques. In this clip right here, you see me taking a brief rest. I'm not doing rest pause, I'm doing a cluster set, which is 6 sets of 4 with 15 seconds in between each set. So really making sure that I push that blood into that muscle and handle some pretty heavy weight while I'm doing it. But, excuse me, I'm tired. In any event, thanks for watching, guys. If I provided you any type of value, please give me a thumbs up, give me a like, comment in the comment section, and let me know what you think. I definitely love bringing these videos to you. I like producing them. And, it gives me a chance to go back and look at some of the advice that I'm giving people. And, I'm wondering if the advice is good or not. So it gives me a good time to send these to people for some feedback, and we'll go from there. But happy lifting, guys. Hope you all are well. Very excited for the Mr. Olympia this weekend. Super, super excited. And I hope all of you watch. All right? Y'all take care. Bye-bye.